Okay, hi everyone. Thank you for joining Merpay event for Global Engineers today. I'm Hannah from Merpay HR team. So first, let me introduce today's presenters. First presenter is Godric from Merpay Backend team.
Hello everyone. My name is Godric, and I'm a backend engineer manager in Merpay. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Second presenter is Robert from Merpay Backend team.
Hello everybody. So yeah, my name is Robert. I'm also a backend engineering manager here at Merpay. Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you. Third presenter is Hanada from Merpay Android team.
Hello everyone. So my name is Yoshihito. I'm an Android engineer. So nice to meet you today.
Okay, thank you. And the last presenter is Zach from Merpay Data and ML team.
Hello everyone. I'm Zach. I'm an engineering manager of Merpay Data and ML team. Nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you. So then let me go through today's agenda quickly. So first, Godric will give a talk about our company and our business introduction. Next, Robert will talk about the life in Tokyo. And after that, Robert, Hanada, and Zach will explain about the current open positions like job requirements and their team introduction. Our current open positions are backend engineers, Android engineers, and data team related positions such as machine learning engineers, data platform engineers, and etc. So please ask any questions in YouTube chat while we're talking. We'll answer them at the last part of today's event. So I'd like to move on to today's presentation if everyone's ready for now. Does anyone have any questions so far? You guys okay? Thank you for the comment. Hi. Okay, then let's move on the presentation. Godric-san, are you ready now?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Let's start.
Okay, thank you everyone. I'm Godric. As you know, I'm a backend engineering manager in Merpay, and I know you guys come from all over the world and maybe not familiar with our company. Who's Merpay? Who's Mercury anyway? So let me first introduce Merpay, including Mercury, to you guys, and let me express my appreciation that you use your valuable time, to come from all over the world and listen to us. Yep. So first, we are in the same group called Mercury Group, which includes three companies. One is Mercury, the left side one. It's launched on July 2013, and Merpay, which is launched on February 2019. It's the application. It's not the founding of the company, but the application of Merpay launched on February 2019, and the US Mercury. It's in America, and now it's growing super fast. It's also launched on September 2014. Yeah, this is three services or companies, you can say, in our Mercury group. Yeah, and for Mercury company, which is the left side one, the flea market place, its mission is create value in a global marketplace where anyone can buy and sell. The very important word is sell, because it's a marketplace, flea market application. So what is it? The Mercury app is a C2C marketplace where individuals can easily sell used items. We want to provide both buyers and sellers with a service where they can enjoy safe and secure transactions. Mercury offers a unique customer experience with a transaction environment that uses the payment Mercury hold in escrow and simple and affordable shipping options. And we have both Android and iOS versions. And in fact, you can also access our application through the browsers. And it's free to use. Of course, we charge 10% of the sales price as our commission fee for sold items. Currently, the basic language is Japan, the basic language of Merpay, the left side one. This one, the left side one, is in Japan, so it's currently only in Japanese, but we're also considering the internationalization, the I-18A, and the total number of listing to date is more than 1.5 billion items there. Yeah, so this is about the Merpay app. And Merpay, in fact, is inside Merpay. It's a tab of Merpay. You can pay on Merpay using Merpay, or you can pay online, offline using Merpay. And here's the data of Merpay. Why we introduced Merpay is that our Merpay service is also embedded in Merpay's application. We're the same app. We're in one application. Of course, the US side has another localized American application, but it's a little bit different from what you can see at the Japanese Merpay. Anyway, this is the data of the Japanese C2C e-commerce marketplace, and you can see the total estimated value of unwanted items where people own is around 7.6 trillion Japanese yen per year, which is a very huge market. And currently, the C2C EC market has a more approximately 1,740 billion Japanese yen market. And Merpay, in fact, is around 625 billion Japanese yen GMV. So it's like quite 1/3 of the whole C2C EC market amount, which is pretty huge. And it's increasing, as you can see, every year. And so this is number of Merpay application. The GMV this year is, you can see the financial year until 2020 June. It's up to 625 billion Japanese yen, and our net sales is 58 billion Japanese yen. And here comes Merpay, a mobile payment service. You can say it's a payment service, but I'd rather describe it as the financial service. So before we have Merpay, the service, people can exchange values through money in the Merpay application. But after we have Merpay, people can exchange values through trust at Merpay application. So what is trust? You can call it credit, but we'd rather say it's a trust that built by us. So here comes Merpay, building trust for seamless society. This is our Merpay's company's mission, and maybe some of you guys know that Japanese society is a very is a society that depending on cash very much. In fact, the data of 2016, the cashless payment amount, including credit card, prepaid card, or debit card, it's around 20% only of those cashless payment, and the remaining 80% are all paid by cash, the paper money, the coins. And the financial is not that inclusive, to be honest. It's not that easily to access, and you need a very long procedure, paperwork to access to any kind of financial services. And our mission is to build trust for seamless society. And the seamless is very important, and trust is also important. And that's the word we want to achieve. And we have our whole group have 3 values: go bold, all for one, and be a pro. In order to create innovation with big impact on the world, everyone takes on board challenges and learns from many failures. So we believe in go bold, and I know it's difficult, but we really value this one very much. And all for one, with the whole team working together and all members working to their highest potential, the teams can achieve large missions that one person alone cannot. And here comes be a pro. The pro means 2 meanings. proactive and professional. So all members take ownership of their work as professionals in their field, learn every day, and commit to showing results. And about our Merpay company, you can see our application launched on February 2019. But in fact, our company is founded on November 20th, 2017. So we actually built this product for more than 1 year until its launch. And we have several offices based in Tokyo, Osaka, Fukuoka, but the development center mainly based in Tokyo, Roppongi. And our business is to do fintech venture. It's not only payment, to be honest. It's about everywhere of fintech. And so what is Merpay? It's a mobile payment service brought to you by the creator of Merpay. It's Japan's largest C2C marketplace, as I introduced, and it is operated by Merpay Corporation under the Merpay Group. And with Merpay, users can make payment on Merpay and at 1.74 million stores nationwide in Japan. Using the money earned from selling items, they no longer need on Merpay by charging money from their bank accounts or by using Merpay Smart Payments. So here's the number of Merpay's users, and currently we have 8 million users on Merpay, and this number is excluding the people who pay on Merpay flea market using the escrow credit card way of payment. But to be honest, this is also supported by Merpay. So all transactions goes on Merpay's marketplace, in fact, is supported by Merpay. And this is excluding the credit card or the balance people use on the Merpay. And we still have 8 million users. And the retention rate of first-time users is 78%, which is quite a good number, I think. And here's our features history. During our first launch, we started to support for ID contactless payment. You can just touch your iPhone or Android to the device the shops already have. There's already 900,000 of stores accepting ID payments nationwide. So basically, in our launch, you can almost use ID for a lot of places, including Japanese favorite convenience stores. And on March, we started to support for QR code and barcode payments. So small merchants also can introduce the mobile payment with a very low cost. It's only a printed QR code. And in April, we launched our smart payment feature. So you can use our Merpay without charging money. The concept is close to credit card, but somehow different. I will explain the difference. And on May, we started to support online payment. So you can pay both online and offline since then. And in this year, we also started many big features. Firstly, we started support for easy listing integration. Easy listing is the feature that combined Merpay and Merpay. So when you buy things on online EC shops, you can just add those items into your inventory list with Merpay's net payment. And you can easily list your inventory directly to Merpay's marketplace since then. And on July, Merpay Smart Payment launched. Here's the early version of the Smart Payment, which is similar to credit card, but this new version allows you to use the support paying a fixed amount every month flexibly. And this concept is very close to revolving credit. And on July, we started to support send and receive, where you can send money and receive money from your family members. And now September, so we started to support integrate QR code with Docomo. So people can use the same QR code whenever you use Merpay's application or you use Docomo's payment application. And in the future, maybe there will be more companies join our integrate QR code. Yeah, so here's the features of us. And in fact, we have already available on over 100 e-commerce sites across Japan. And here are the brand, but in fact, this is old. We have already had more than that. And the concept of the smart payment, as I said, it's a little bit close to the credit card, but somehow different. As you may know, so credit card, to apply for credit card, you need to submit a lot of your personal information, and those information are really very important to applying for the credit card, like working years, living location, revenue, job, family members. But is that all that describe you? We don't think so. We think your behaviors determines your trust, not your attribute. And our machine learning team, Jackson's team, built the machine learning model to calculate each one's how much amount of credit we should grant to the user, so that they can even access a small amount of credit when they have good behaviors, and they don't need the very tedious application forms when you apply for credit card, which is bring more seamless to the society and bring more inclusive finance. And we're also taking very serious on ensuring a safe and secure product. We implement anti-fraud measures to ensure a safe and secure user experience. Authentication and identity verification for registration and use, and 24 hours, 365 days year monitoring. And we also provide compensation support if anything happens. And in the future, we'll focus on the following 3 points based on trust and openness. So the first is to expand partnerships with different companies and even government. And we also want to strengthen collaboration with Mercury, because after all, we have the same app, and Mercury has very much users. And for developed services based on new concept of trust. We're planning to collaborate with local governments, spread cashless payments throughout Japan, and we're also trying to make the synergy best together with Mercury Marketplace. And Marketplace will focus on the secondary distributors, which is second-hand transactions, and Merpay will rather focus more on the primary distributors, which you can directly buy from the manufacturer, retails, and distribution. So here's our phases of the company. The initial investment is to aim to become a payment service that is used daily by increasing both users and merchant. And we have already passed phase 1, the very initial phase, the 0 to 1 phase. And the second phase is synergy with Mercury. We can use Merpay to increase listing on Mercury and strengthen Merpay's smart payment service. And this is our currently focused phase. And in the future, we also want to monetize, and we want to create a new form of trust and provide added value to both individuals and companies by accumulating transaction data. Our data will be very important, and I think we will be in both the payment industry and financial industry. So yeah, that's all. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Godric. I forgot to notice one thing in the introduction. We appreciate if you can answer the survey about this event. We send the survey via email in advance, and I also post the link in the YouTube chat now. Okay, so let's move on to the next presentation. Next is about Life in Tokyo by Robert. Are you ready, Robert?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, let's start.
Okay. Hello. Thank you, Godric, for talking a little bit about Merpay and Mercari. It was really nice to hear it again. although I work at Merpay. But now I want to talk a little bit about life in Tokyo and I guess Japan in general. I came to Tokyo like 2.5 years ago. It's when I joined Merpay. But I'm from Slovenia, which is a really small country in Europe. Although like I have lived in other countries as well, like Finland, Spain, the Bay Area even, or even South Korea before here. But it's like every country is like really different. So let me talk a little bit about Tokyo and Japan. So yeah, Tokyo. I'm sure everybody knows Tokyo and where it is. It's the capital of Japan, and it's also in the center of it, kind of. It's like on the right side, if you can see in there. The population of Tokyo is 14 million, but that's just the city. Like the metro, which is like basically the whole neighborhood, is almost 40 million. It's like really huge. I come from a really small country in Europe where the whole country's population is only 2 million. Maybe some of you come from places that are like similar in size, but for me it was like really, wow, it's huge. So yeah. Next one, I mean, like, even though it's huge, but because it's so big, I don't know, like before I came to Japan, I was in Seoul in Korea for a few years. And I mean, like the population is also quite big there. But something I noticed here in Tokyo was that the neighborhoods are like really diverse. So you have like Ginza for shopping maybe, or you have like Akihabara for like all the electronic stuff, or even like anime. And like you have Nakameguro for food, which is like a really nice area. And you can go like bar hopping there or in other places as well. Of course, like Shinjuku, Shibuya, you've heard of it. But even though it's like so big, it's really safe. When I was walking around in San Francisco at night, I was scared for myself. But here, I mean, I can walk by myself. Anybody can walk by themselves. And like it's really safe. It's really nice. And it's also very convenient. The Tokyo metro system is really like huge. Like there are a lot of different lines you can take, both underground lines, subway lines, and like normal train lines. So commuting is really easy. And on the topic of commuting, I mean, Tokyo is not just Tokyo. Like you can go anywhere. You can just take the Shinkansen. You can see it's like in the center of Japan, so you can basically go north if you want. You can go to the south or the west area if you want, anywhere you want. Like really, it's just there. And you can go to the beach, you can go to the mountains. On the topic of mountains, you can go skiing. I mean, now it's winter, right? So the skiing season started. Or if you're a boarding person, you can also go boarding. And then after you enjoy a little bit of skiing or boarding, you can maybe have a dip in a sauna. And I mean, yeah, it's like really nice place. But also like Tokyo, like right next door is the Disneyland. I don't know if I mean, I only went there like once or twice. It's like a nice experience, but there are people I know from US that really like go all the time there, and it's like really nice to have it so close by. And I mean, yeah, you can like just watch flowers, have some ice cream, and things like that. It's like really, I enjoy living here. And going back to Tokyo, I guess, yeah, it's huge. But as I said before, it's also extremely walkable. You don't need a car at all. And although, I mean, maybe you might think, okay, because there are so many people, it's going to be really crowded. Yeah, there are crowded places. But if you just take a side street and walk a little bit there, it's like quite empty. And like you can see like the different parts of the city, like having a different culture. So by walking, you can really explore the city. I think like that's also a very good point. But if you like walking into like more in the nature, you can just take a hike somewhere. Like there are a lot of mountains in the area of Tokyo. So it's like really nice. But you might think that Tokyo is expensive. Yeah, maybe. I mean, depends. Tokyo can be expensive. But I mean, you can also just have something for $8 in a Michelin-starred restaurant. I'm not sure there are many places around the world where you can have the same experience. You can also just go to the convenience store. It's like really delicious food, much better than some other places that I've been to. And so yeah, I mean, Tokyo is many things. It's what you make of it. But I mean, Japan, Tokyo, it's evolving, and it welcomes diversity. Of course, the Japanese culture and the language is different. When I first came to Tokyo, Japan, there were some difficulties. I'm not going to lie to you, but Mercari and Merpay, everybody really supported me. So the company helped me with creating a bank account, so I could actually use a bank to connect to Merpay and then use Merpay, or like just help me with finding a place, an apartment for myself. They introduced several real estate agents. They also like helped me with language support. And I think Hannah will talk a little bit about it later as well. But yeah, I mean, there are some downsides, but every country is different. So every person is different. Like people change throughout their lives. And I don't know, like I said a little bit about how Tokyo has different neighborhoods. Like you can really see that, okay, maybe you like this kind of place, and then like you like living in that area. And you can live in that area. Like some other countries, some other cities, they're much more, let's say, like there's not much difference. But in Tokyo, I could really feel a difference. Like I remember when I first joined Merpay, like when I had to do a self-introduction and I was listening to other people introduce themselves, I was like really surprised. Oh, you like that? Oh, you like this? Like people were really proud of what they were interested in, and it was like so diverse. And Mercari as a group, we also like really promote diversity. And of course, like I mean, some of you already had some questions, and we will answer them later as well about language and things like that. What kind of expectations there would be? Merpay is a financial company here in Japan. So there are some parts that will be more Japanese focused, but we are also striving to be diverse and use more and more English. Mercari, as a more global brand, is already quite English. Maybe not like still like at 100% like Google or something like that, but I feel that I'm part of the journey to make both Mercari and Merpay more global and more diverse. And also with working at Merpay, I was able to see like, okay, yeah, Godric said before, maybe like a few years ago, Merpay was like really, I mean, Merpay Japan was a really a society where everybody was using still cash. But after I came here, you could really experience, okay, everybody started using more cashless, like Merpay, just pay with ID or something like that, or smart payments. And I don't know, the experience so far has been quite nice. So yeah, definitely. I think we can talk a little bit more about Japan and Tokyo later. So let me go to the next presentation, which I wanted to also talk a little bit about. So yeah, I am part of the Backend team. And I'm an engineering manager right now. But I actually joined as a normal engineer, and then I became tech lead, and then I also became engineering manager. So there is a career progression here you can have. And there was a question about it, so we'll also answer it later. But yeah, let me talk a little bit about the backend. So yeah, what's the stack? We use primarily Go with all of this like fancy logos here. You can see we also use other technologies, Kubernetes, Datadog. Our protocol for API communication is primarily gRPC. But how are we actually like split? I guess like my introduction was like, okay, backend team, but it's not actually like one team. Of course, everybody works together on the backend, but we have like different backend teams, not just backend teams, like also other teams. But we have like the engineering side, and then there's also kind of the product side. And then like we have like different projects that we want to work on. Do we want to, for example, introduce Docomo? Do we want to introduce smart payments? Do we want to add ID payments? Do we want to improve some dashboard or something like that? So there are like different teams involved. And because we have like an OKR-based system, like we kind of plan in advance, okay, we're going to work on these projects, these backend teams are involved, and I'm just part of like one of those backend teams. So yeah, like as you may have seen, like in some other places, we are primarily microservices based. So we have like backend teams, we have which kind of are responsible for certain microservices and certain domains. So we have like, for example, the bank, the Cash.io team, which is responsible for the bank service. We have the KYC team, which is responsible for the KYC service. We have a bit more also like maybe platform-related teams, which is like the payment platform, which Godric is overseeing, which is responsible for like the kind of common platform that like many services or many features around Merpay and Mercari is using. Like Godric said about escrow, like that's both shared by Mercari, and Merpay provides that functionality to Mercari. And we also have like many different other services. And the number is growing as we add more features. And it's like really interesting and it's really nice. So how does the usual flow look like when we develop? So yeah, we collaborate with different teams, as I said, with the PMs, with the product side, with client engineers, with QA engineers, designers on projects. Like we make scenarios together, we make requirements, specs together. Then like usually we start writing some APIs, usually in Go, and then like define the protocol buffers, so that other teams, like the clients, can check them out. Okay, is it okay? Is it not okay? And then they can also work on the client side. Maybe we will like have some asynchronous processing going on, which we would use Google WhatsApp for mostly. And like you would review pull requests normally, you would deploy your code to Kubernetes. You can either use Spinnaker or just Terraform directly. We primarily use Datadog for monitoring and logging and tracing. And our primary database at Merpay is Spanner, but we also use other databases. So it's not like you're constrained to that. Like there's a lot of choice, and we welcome like really going bold if you want to use something else. So yeah, basically we connect. You work on a service, you work in a team, you connect with other microservices, you test your code. And then, like, of course, maybe sometimes it will break, but we have test environments, so we have testing that is automatic. We really try to strive for quality, but of course, speed is also important. So after everything works, we also work on optimizing things. And you can see, like here on the right side, we made things a little bit faster. But ultimately, I mean, we are also having fun. It's not just work, right? Like before Corona, we were doing like, we came to the office a lot, but now we've been mostly working from home. But it's not like you have to work from home, you have to work from the office. We are like experimenting. Like even now you can see on the slide that I'm presenting right now, we had fun offline, we're also having fun online. So yeah, if you want to like work on interesting things, do join us. And I think that's kind of it for my presentation, and I will answer your questions later. But for now, I will leave it to Hanada-san. Okay, that's it.
Okay, can you hear me? So thank you, Robert. So it was interesting to me. So because I was backend engineer when I joined the Mercari. So from now on, so I'll introduce under team what is not written in job description. Okay, and so our team. So currently, there are 7 engineers and 1 engineering managers. So we have a lot of senior engineers, and so we have experience from many different companies and backgrounds. Like me, so backend engineer and iOS engineer. So members are part of different projects inside Merpay. So we use a variety of development style: Scrum, Kanban, or big scale, a large scale Scrum, etc. And so communication. So Japanese is often used in discussion with other teams, but English is often used within the Android team. And so now we are learning English and Japanese. So we can take Japanese or English lesson at the expense of the company. About half of us participate in these lessons. And so what does the team do? So meetings, events, a few meetings in so under team. So only one meeting, weekly meeting, and we are discussing problems and plans and share our project status. And bi-weekly, we have tech talk meeting. So each of engineers shares new technologies and so on. And sometimes we watch the videos such as Kotlin Conference, Google I/O, and Droid Kaigi. And so bi-weekly, we have a team TGIF with drink beer and talking about many things, such a new device and coding. Now, so as you know, the coronavirus pandemics, we are working remotely, and so sometimes discuss implementation and design on Slack channel. And so code review, so we have to, so most of members are assigned in the project from one member to the 3 member, and then the code review other than the project in charge. And so takes to eliminate technical depth and improve quality. It shares tasks to improve our code base. And next, tech stack, Merpay Android is all of our code is written by Kotlin. And so we are mainly using the Flux architecture and reactive programming, RxJava. But now we are planning to migrate from RxJava to coroutine. And so we are focusing a lot of separation of concerns. So we are using Spec. It's a so testing tool. But we also thinking about migrate from Spec to JUnit 5. And so every feature is a different module. And everything was recently migrated inside the Merpay Android repository to improve our productivity. Yes. So now, we many features are separated in so many modules. Last night I counted the module, and there are 84 modules in the Mercari application project. And so Merpay team is developing about 30 or more modules. And big, we are maintaining a big repository, and not only the Merpay team, but also Mercari Japanese Android team and AQA. AQA means Automation QA team. They are developing a UI test to improve a regression test. And so more than 30 engineers pushing commits to the one repository. Finally, and so we are busy because we have fewer people than the iOS team, almost 5 or more difference. But we are working together to get about the same performance. Yeah. But we don't have much overtime. So I want to work with the people who can cooperate with each other, so we can help. And so the lack of the tasks or technology, technique, experience, so we can support to every engineer. And that's it. And next, Jackson, please.
Yeah, thank you. I'm ready. Let's start. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay. Hello, everyone. Again, I'm Zach. I'm an engineering manager of Data and ML team. Today, I will introduce Data and Machine Learning team. And here is today's agenda. We have 3 items. First, our mission. Our mission is maximize business values from data. So we collect data and manage its quality and availability and make some machine learning models for business values. Data and ML team consists of 3 teams: data platform, machine learning, and data management. Next, our work style. Our team has 3 teams and 17 members: machine learning 8, data platform 5, and data management 4 members. And our language environment is primarily Japanese, but English is also used. And I'm learning English. And we are changing to English environment and building a good culture to overcome language barriers, because we have Japanese speaker and English speaker both. Next, our project size is 3 or 4 people, not so big. And project examples are credit scoring by user data, or fraud prevention, building data pipelines, building data discovery platform, metadata management, etc. Communication. We have some kind of stakeholders, so engineers not only communicate with engineers, we communicate product manager or risk compliance team, security team, etc. to discover business issues and to define business requirements. So I think in our team, communication skill is very important. Next, open positions. We have now 4 open positions. First, machine learning engineer. They do ML modeling, its evaluation, API serving as a microservice. Second, ML platform engineer. They develop frameworks to ML engineers productive. They use Google AI platform, etc. Third, data platform engineer. They develop data pipelines to collect data and feed data to other microservices. Fourth, data manager. They manage data security, quality, metadata, information architecture, visualization. They have a lot of kind of tasks. And now we are preparing job descriptions here, careers.merpay.com. Next, hiring process. We have 3-phase hiring process. First, doc screening. In here, we check your professional experience and motivation. The information, what do you want to do in Merpay, is very helpful for us to avoid mismatching. Second, skill test. In here, we check your coding skills. Some kind of problem will be given. That depends on the position you apply. For example, data analysis problem, machine learning modeling, or API development, or something. Last part, interview 3 times. In here, we confirm your motivation and skills in discussion with tech lead, engineering manager, VPOE. This is our hiring process. Finally, Merpay's mission is building trust for a seamless society. So data and ML team generates such kind of trust from data, for example, using user behavioral data. So I think our team is in the center of our business. So I think there is a lot of challenging missions, and those missions are waiting for you. If you are interested in our details and positions, please access careers.merpay.com. Thank you for listening. That's all.
Okay, Thank you, Robert, Hanada, and Zach. So all presentations for today is done for now. Hope all listeners enjoyed it. So I'd like to move on the Q&A sessions for now. So we start answering the questions that we got in advance first, but please post any questions in chat if you come up for now. Okay, so the first question is, will there be any front-end engineers position in the future? So the answer is yes. We are planning to open the job post for front-end engineers as well soon. And the next question is, do you hire Filipinos as software engineer? And the answer is yes, of course. We are hiring from all over the world. And the next question, company's work culture. Is it startup level, flexible? So talking about this question, could you answer this question, Godric? Your mic is mute.
Sorry. Sure. I will answer the question about the company's culture. And as I introduced in the company face side, in fact, Merpay has already launched its business, and we're expanding very, very fast. And we're also planning quite amount of new businesses, and all those new businesses need the very similar flexibility as startup. So I will say yes, we have the same level of flexibility as startup, but we're already doing a very big business. So it's something different from startup. We're kind of hierarchical, I should admit, but I think that's for the best efficiency of our company, and it's a healthy way of doing it. And we really believe in a value called trust and openness, which is like we think we should trust our employees and give them as much dedication and responsibility as possible. And we open every information we can so that people can access to the information and even to do proposals or give their ideas freely. And we really value this kind of culture, and it helps us a lot to get through some difficult situations. Yeah, so even we are becoming bigger and even more hierarchical, but we are still, I think the flexibility is very good. It's like the same level as startup. And when we start new businesses, we'll do it very quick. And I think the speed may be even faster than startups. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Could you please share more about what different teams of backend developers do in Merpay, how you collaborate with each other, and how you handle urgent on-call issues? Okay, could you answer this question, Robert?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, we have different backend teams, and I guess it kind of depends. I shared a little bit before about it, how we have like more platform teams which work on like providing the infrastructure for like building new features, but we also have some teams that are more closer to the product, and collaboration is quite smooth, I guess. Like it depends a little bit on the team. Like some teams are using Scrum, some teams are using Kanban. But then we kind of strive towards shared OKRs. So the company knows, okay, kind of like, okay, we want to build this thing. So everybody kind of works towards that goal. And I shared a little bit before where I said that we have like the backend and the client and the other like engineering kind of teams. And then we have like the product teams as well working on certain projects. So it's kind of like a mix and match to work together. And for the urgent on-call issues, so for the backend side, I can say that the service you are working on, you kind of are expected to be on call, but we don't force you. So like if you are like if you have children at home maybe, or you have some other circumstances that you can't be on call, it's fine. But I mean, talk with your team, talk with your manager as well, and we try to make like the team that is building something also be responsible for it. Like, okay, checking the logs, checking any errors and fixing them later. Urgent on-call, we also have SRE, there is like the secondary on-call. So the primary on-call is the service owner, which is the team you're working on, and the secondary on-call is always SRE, which is kind of also responsible for the infrastructure on-call. So is Kubernetes down? Is like something wrong with Google or something like that? So it's kind of like, yeah, like that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the next question is, how is the career path for engineers in Merpay? So could you explain first, Godric?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So for engineers in Mercury and Merpay, basically we have two lines. One is the as a player, and the another is management line. And both lines don't have ceilings. You can go through top of the grade in the company, and as a player, you can play both role as tech lead or individual contributor. Of course, tech lead has more responsibility on project management side and the communication and the specification discussion. And the individual contributor will focus more on how to implement and how to release the project safely and to solve technical issues more. And for the management side, so firstly, you can become EM and maybe also playing manager to do tech lead while doing engineer manager. This is the difficult time, to be honest. And then you can focus on more on management side to be a engineer manager that focus on your team and even on the whole organization. And after that, you can choose to expand your teams, or you can even choose to become a manager of manager. And I know Zach-san is a manager of manager, so can you provide some information of that career policy?
Yeah. Now I'm manager, and I was engineering manager last year. So I think the career path is not one way. I can go MOM, VPOE, and if I want to do, I can do individual contributor. So career path is not a path, just a role. I think we have a lot of roles. I see manager, engineering manager, manager, VPOE, or something. I think it's important to think the career path is not one way. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, should I ask about the individual contributor color to Hanada-san, maybe?
Yes, sure. So I think it's to expand the fields and scope of contribution. Fields it's as a client engineer, such as security, stability, and testing, and improving development process. And the scope, it means expands so teams. Now, so we are focusing on the Merpay only, but so we can expand to the Mercari JP and also US region. And so we can continue. It's me, I'm an individual contributor, and now I'm 50 years old, but I try to continue as I see. And to now, so I'm focusing on stability. And so sometimes discuss with the Mercari JP team how to, so if so, we should add many tests or the change rules, and we can contribute anything. And so in the Mercari and Merpay organization, so allow engineers, so many kinds of contribution, not only the developing a new technology. And so I think it's quite Is it okay?
Cool. Thanks. Thank you, Hanada-san. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So, what is backend engineer skills that we need to have to qualify for working at Mercari? Do we need to know Japanese language for working at Mercari JP? If yes, profilable, what JLPT levels do we need? Any nice to have traits that we need to qualify our Mercari? So I want Robert to answer this question.
Okay, so I guess for the backend skills required, that would be, as I said, like we write most of our code in Go. So if you know Go, that would be the best. We also use Kubernetes a lot for deploying our services. So if you're familiar with Kubernetes, that would also be a plus sign. Of course, like if you use any other language or have experience with other things, it's fine, but you will be expected to learn that. If you know Spanner, if you have used Spanner, that's even better. It's our primary database, but we also use other things. So I guess writing APIs in Go and also being familiar with scale, like and the issues that might come with it, that would also be a positive thing. So yeah, that's kind of it. For the language, it depends on the team. Some teams are using more Japanese. Some teams are using only English. But as Zach-san said, we and Hanada as well, we are trying to use more and more English. So if you come, the situation will be even better. So definitely.
Okay, thank you. So for now, I want to pick up some questions from the YouTube chat. So the first question is, what is the data scale Merpay team works with? So could you answer this question, Zach?
Very difficult question. I don't know the exact number of data size now, but we have a lot of customers. Around 2000万って英語でなんて言うんですかね。
20 million?
Yeah, 20
Is
million.
that correct?
We have 20 million user base, so they generate huge size of data every day. So we are in front of huge data every day. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the next question is talking about Hadoop. So do you have position for Hadoop and Spark? Can I ask this question to Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have position Hadoop and Spark?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we don't use Hadoop. I think maybe we use Spark. I think these skills are suitable for data platform team. So if you're interested in you please visit our careermercari.com and view data platform position.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And the next question is, what is the size of the engineering teams in total? Backend one. So should I answer? Okay, so for now, about 80 backend engineers and Merpay only. Is it enough? Okay. And let's go to the next question. And what is level of developer which Android team required? It's kind of difficult question to answer, I guess, but could you answer, Hanada-san?
Level. So it's difficult. In most of the Merpay engineers senior level, but Merpay JP, they hire new grads to the senior. And so unfortunately, in the Merpay team, so not enough resource to support the new grads, and so it's another situation. But of course, we hope to improve our process and increase our members, and I'd like to welcome the new grads.
Thank you. So talking about the new grad thing, so there's one question about the new grad. So can 2021 September new grad apply for the backend positions? So we are hiring new grad position for software engineers like for entire year. So you can apply anytime. And the next question is, would it be available for the ML team someone with Spark Hadoop experience? Is there a plan to start using Spark? Oh, it's almost the same question
Yeah.
as the last one.
Right.
Okay. Do you want to add some information, Zach?
Additional information. Is there
Yeah.
plan to start using Spark MapReduce-based ecosystem? どうだろうな。Now, I don't have such a plan to use MapReduce or something. We are based on deeply Google Cloud Platform technologies. So we use BigQuery or something. But I think in data platform team, they use Spark or something, some frameworks to build data pipeline. I think this skill is very valuable for us. Not exact much, but I think it's valuable. Yeah.
Thank you. So it's already the time, but we still want to continue answering all the questions. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So regarding backend SDLC and its relationship with SREs, does Merpay have a centralized SRE team?
Yeah, I can answer that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a centralized SRE team, and they are mainly for the maintenance and on-calls of our whole microservice architecture. Basically, it's under the layer of Docker, the Docker, Kubernetes, and GCP platform. They're mainly watching that part. And for each backend team, they will mainly be responsible for their stack above that part. So their application code, their PubSub, their database. So yeah, that's how we distribute our responsibilities. But recently, we started the concept of embedded SRE. It's still ongoing, so not every team have one, but like we're trying to provide embedded SRE members for the teams who need it. So yeah, it's centralized, but in the future it will be decentralized.
Okay, thank you. And the next question, suppose that the backend team designs a solution that requires new cloud SQL. Will the backend team be the one who codes on the Terraform code? So could you answer, Robert?
Sure. Actually, one of the teams I'm responsible for is using Cloud SQL as well. And so you will be expected to know why you need to use Cloud SQL as a backend engineer. But after that, we have SRE that can help you. So basically, all the backend engineers are writing Terraform code. So you will use it. But if you maybe don't know something, you can always ask SRE or other engineers. So yeah.
Okay. And the next question, what is the scope of work in data science and customer analytics in Merpay? Does Merpay have end-to-end ML and AI solution implemented in their business? It's talking about Merpay, but can you answer, Zach-san?
Yeah. What is scope of data science? Thanks for asking. I don't know Merpay's position. Customer analytics in Merpay. Sorry, I don't know.
Okay.
So
I know some of the teams are implementing the search and recommendation part in Merpay. Like it's just on the Merpay flea market, and it's a super important entrance for the user to start the journey of buying things on flea market. So I think it's like very end-to-end and practical solutions.
thank you.
Okay.
I will answer second question. Does Mercari or Merpay have end-to-end ML and AI? Okay. Yes, I do. Yes, we do. We develop machine learning model, and it can be used as a microservice. So yeah, we develop such a system. Yeah.
Thank you. So we appreciate a lot of questions, but we are running out of the time. So we stop collecting questions and we're gonna answer 2 more questions. Okay, so the next question is for the engineers. Is there any support from the company for contributing to open source communities? Could you answer, Robert?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, there is support. We also have an open source, I guess, program office that supports it. We also have an open source repository in GitHub, and we definitely want our engineers to share their knowledge to everybody else. So yes, there is.
Thank you. And the last question: how is Solid and DDD for backend team? So can you answer, Godric, then?
Okay. So in fact, we are working in the style like somehow similar to DDD because we separated our architecture is microservice, and for each microservice they have to clear their domain to know like which part are they responsible for and which part are not. So that is like kind of domain driven, but we don't follow the domain driven practice that closely. Although we will take it into mind that we design our domains carefully so that in the future we can evolve ourselves easily. But we don't really follow that very hard. I don't think we have that kind of philosophy that much since the microservice architecture is also a new try, and how to build application, the flow is also something like you should practice with theories. So I think we are keeping the all that kind of theories in mind, but we're not that closely practicing them. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for answer. So I want to pick one question that seems like a good question. So specifically for English-speaking engineers, do they find it difficult to work in team discussion, etc.? So can you answer, Robert?
Oh, okay. So as I said before, it depends on the team, right? Some teams are using English primarily, some teams are using Japanese primarily, some teams are using mixed. We are trying to introduce more and more English at Merpay. I'm not going to lie that sometimes it can be difficult. We do have a team of interpreters and translators supporting us always. So if there is a need for discussion, we can always request support. So, I mean, we try to make it work, and I think we're getting better and better at it. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So let me wrap up today's event for now. Then thank you for joining us today again. I want to ask you one favor, Alas. We appreciate if you answer the survey that I send you in YouTube chat now. We'll use the mouse for next event. So thank you again. Hope to see you again, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you very much.